Thanks a lot for indulging us. So as part of our class, we definitely want to talk about what's going on in our heads as performers while we're playing. But before we do that, I thought this would be the perfect time for us to hit some golf balls. So if you'll just give us 1 second while we get that set up here. Yeah, thank you.
Am I on?
So yes, you guys are all wondering what we're thinking of. You know, this is the first time at PASIC anyone has ever hit golf balls. It's a very exciting moment. You should be very proud to be here for this. Now, I moved to Los Angeles about 3 years ago and I took up golf. I really never played golf. You know, I just got to pitch and putt and beat it around, but you start taking lessons and you start thinking about technique and all those things. Will, I mentioned that he was in the Florida Symphony, and when you got there, you started playing tennis first, right?
Tennis first, then
yeah.
golf.
And then, but then you discovered golf one day, someone took you golfing, and then you were hooked.
That's what happened.
So how many years has that been? Are you willing to admit?
Yes, I am willing to admit. I think it's 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So Will's been playing for what's the math on that? 22 years more than me. All right. So I'm going to try and hit this golf ball here, right down the center. Okay. And yeah. Yeah.
He's
so,
really good. It'll be okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going to keep telling myself that. So I'm going to try and knock this right down the center here. And by the way, if this ball does come at you, be warned, but it's not a real golf ball. You probably won't get hurt, but we don't know for sure. Okay,
That wasn't bad at all.
That was not perfect. It wasn't so bad.
Okay, so
All right.
Guy in the aisle, standing up. Stay right there. No,
With the
okay,
orange
never
hat.
mind.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So right for the center there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. Somebody stand up. One person stand up. All right, right there. Oh yeah, the civil
Oh
guy.
yeah, hit the sills.
Civil guy.
Hit the sills.
All right, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Whoa!
Oh, look out!
Sorry.
Hit another one, man.
Okay, let me hit another one.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
Peter there. Hit Peter. Hit him in the eye if you can. Yeah. That is very frustrating for me. All right, so all right, Will. So you hit one that you didn't love, and then
Right.
you hit one that was right on target.
Right.
Okay.
So you're going to ask me what I was thinking about when I was getting ready, right? Is that
Yeah.
you
What do you?
wanna-
What,
okay.
yeah. What happened?
All right, well, this is a little short punch shot, so my list is not as long as it would be on a full swing. So I'm thinking about, first of all, my grip, my stance. I want my weight on my front foot. I want my hands to be ahead of the ball when I come through. So that's what I've got to think about before I'm going to pull the trigger.
And then what about when you swing? Like you get your backswing, then you swing.
Okay, so I've gone through all this.
Yeah.
I'm ready to pull the trigger now. Now I've got to commit to my shot, and I've got to trust it. Once I've figured it out, commit, trust, pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's another good one. All right.
So commit and trust.
Commit and trust. Okay. I'll just tell you what's going on in my head, and I thought about this a little bit, but this is typically when I'm on the golf course. It's, you know, I have all these lessons. I've maybe taken around 9 lessons. So I've got all these things, some of the things that Will's talking about, but some of the more simple, like rotating your body and all that stuff. But really, as I get over the shot, it's mostly fear. It is. I mean, you know, it's just the way it is. And especially when it starts to go badly, I don't have a lot of technique to fall back on. Okay? And so right as I set up, you know, I feel like, okay, I kind of look like a golfer here. This looks like something good could happen. And then I'm thinking about the possibilities, the bad possibilities. And all of you golfers, any of you who play golf, you know what I'm talking about. When it's not going well, you start kind of thinking negatively. Now, there's been a couple of shots I've hit playing golf that feel good, a couple stretches that feel good. And I've noticed that I'm just brimming with confidence. I mean, I'm like ready for the Pro Tour. I feel awesome, you know? And I really think that it's 2 things. And here's where we wanted to find the comparisons. One is your preparation. You know, you've got to have some skills. I mean, Will just talked about where his weight is and all these different things that he's worked out through lessons and through his own practice over 20-something years. I'm really just, you know, dealing with some very basic fundamentals, and now I'm just kind of, you hit it and hope, okay? And that's not a good way to play golf, and it's certainly not a good way to play music either. All right. Those moments where I'm feeling good, there's actually nothing negative going on. And actually, there's not a lot of, besides the checklist that you do before you hit the shot, then right when you're pulling the trigger, as you said, it's really, your mind's pretty clear, yeah? I mean, you said trust and
what did I say? Commit.
Commit and trust. And that's what you do when you play. Yeah. I think that one of the things I've learned is that professionals don't have this whole mental game licked necessarily. I always thought that you become a professional and then suddenly, oh, it's all, these guys have it worked out. They don't get nervous. Well, I still get nervous for performances, and I have to go through a bit of a centering mechanism, something that gets me to a place where I feel centered, where I can feel focused on the music. The other important point is that music and language, the self-talk that we all do, they sit in different sides of the brain. So for example, one of the reasons I wrote this groove piece was because I wanted to be able to feel the groove and get with that, and not be saying, oh boy, what comes in the next measure? What is the audience thinking? Did I wear the right jacket today? Is it, I wonder what football game's on tomorrow and when I'm going to watch it. And maybe all of you performers have experienced moments of that, where there's this self-talk that's not really helpful. Even worse than that is when you're going, God, I really hope I don't screw this one up, And I've been there, and that's a terrible place to be. So I think what Will's talking about in terms of trust, trusting what you do as a performer is really important. The other thing is that we've got to think about how do we simplify the things that we do on our instruments so that we have this trust. I mean, clearly you will, in your golf game, you've got a mechanism, you've got a set of skills, and you go through it, and now you trust it. And I'm just going, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Right.
Big difference.
Let me jump in here and say two things about what Ted just said. One thing he was talking about preparation, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can figure out, that's the only thing, if I'm getting ready for a big concert, if I'm getting ready for an audition, or even a concert, the only thing I'm really under control of is my preparation. I'm not under control of who else is going to be there and what the committee is listening for and who's in the audience. And I'm actually not even in control of how I'm going to execute that exact day. I might be a little bit in control of that, but I'm not totally in control of that. Some things could go wrong that don't usually go wrong. In fact, that's what usually happens. The stuff you think you're going to play poorly, you play well. What you think you're going to play well, all of a sudden, oh, how could I have done that? So anyway, all I can really control is my preparation. And the other thing that Ted was talking about is when he's standing over a shot on the golf course and he's looking at, when things aren't going well, he's looking at the water, he's looking at the trees, he's looking at 10 feet in front of him. He's not picturing mentally the pretty shot that he wants to hit, instead he's focusing on all the negatives. And that's a tough position to come from, no matter what you're trying to play, music or golf or anything else.
Yeah.
So, we're already running late, so I'm going to ask Ted to now start talking a little bit about some physical approaches that he takes to the snare.